Hi, everyone. So welcome to this LinkedIn live session of Precisely. My name is Jenny, and I'm here from Precisely. I'm the legal and operations manager, and I have Fiona with me from Adverity, who's going to introduce herself very shortly. We're actually in Copenhagen right now and meeting live for the very first time. So this is a super exciting live to do, and also how to kind of unleash the potential of your legal department. But Fiona, please start with introducing yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny. I'm super excited to be here today. I'm Fiona. I'm VP Legal on Compliance at Adverity and working together with Precisely for more than 2 years now. And yeah, excited to speak about legal operations today with you.
It's a fun topic for sure, and I think on everybody's minds right now, at least here.
I hope so.
Yeah. So when you started looking into legal operations and you started Adverity, what was the need or the current pain point that resulted in a legal ops team and that you started to actually build it?
Mm-hmm. So I built up the legal department 3 years ago. And actually only since this year, we have a dedicated legal operations team led by my legal operations manager, Dani. And yeah, the need, or when I realized that legal operations is the way to go, was last year when I tried to figure out how my team could cope with the fast business growth that my company is facing, and also to improve our processes and whole contract management.
Yeah, and I can imagine that, like, you obviously saw the need, but how did you explain the need to create a dedicated legal ops team to your superiors and get the engagement from the whole company to actually see this need?
I think anyway, our company is quite operation focused, and it was not hard to convince my C-level to set up a legal operations team, because obviously since I had the chance to recruit from existing employees into these very special roles, I already had the people, I had the knowledge, or I still have it luckily. So it was not a hard buy-in, and the need for it was clear because there's so many operational topics that the legal ops team is tackling that it just was the logic next step.
So it's mainly like a reorganization as the first step, like moving people from different legal functions.
Right. It was a reorganization. So 2 of the 3 current legal operations members have been already with us as legal specialists before that. And 1 new role has been recruited for this job, started this January. And
nice.
Very happy to have all 3 of them on board.
Super nice. And when you recruited this person, how did you approach this recruitment? Was there any specific experiences you were looking into, or previous jobs they've been doing, or even soft skills that you really value for this role?
So in general, I never had or worked with a legal operations team myself before. So in general, I did some research last year in how I could optimize my team. And then this topic, legal operations, came up, and also dedicated roles that are in Austria not quite common yet. But I think more and more companies are investing in legal operations and realizing the value of it. So I sat together with our legal operations manager, Dani, and we brainstormed in what particular topics and tasks will be dealt with by this new person, what are the projects and challenges coming up for the legal operations team. And then based on that, we decided to design a job description. And actually, we were quite open about the background of the person. So it turned out that at the moment, all of my 7 colleagues, we have all legal background, but we were also open for some business administration or other tech-focused or business analytics-focused roles. Luckily we found Charlie, our newest member, and he's also a legal person, now joined as a junior legal operations specialist. And then we also have support by Maya, our colleague, also being a legal operations specialist, and joined the team even before we had the legal operations team.
That's super nice, because I think if you look at research and you look at some studies, they say oftentimes that, like, of course you need like a strong legal base, but you can also come very far with someone who's maybe very good at project management or just having kind of the oversight and how to prioritize within the legal department, with the support of course, the legal function being there as well.
Yeah, I'd say the skill set, like I have amazing people in both teams, in my legal counsel team and in my legal operations team, but their skill set and interests are quite different, which is great. So my legal operations manager, the person that made me realize that he's already doing legal operations for us, he has not only great legal understanding of projects, but a very good understanding for business needs, business processes. He's very good in analytics and a techie person that really enjoyed together with me setting up Precisely. So I think this is also something that we then looked out for the other colleagues. So also Maya, she's our education specialist and very good in project management. So this fitted in perfectly into the legal operations role. And our dear Charlie, he is also very, very strong on the tech side and business analytics. So yeah, we're just have the perfect match there.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of important at this stage we're in now to like, if you have a legal operations team, you need to have someone, or if not everybody, that's quite tech savvy and understands the technology, but also really wants to work with it and like implement it for everybody in the company and motivate them to like, this is a good tool, it's electronic, it may be a little bit, scary for some new people maybe, but this is what we're doing. It's going to be great.
Yeah, and I think also now that we all have the legal background, also leaders really like to find solutions and play around with the tools. And yeah, I think that's definitely something that should be maybe focused more in the future at legal education to have more tech focus in general.
Absolutely, I totally agree. So looking at like the team and everything, what are the targets and the evaluation points that you have? Do you have KPIs or OKRs or something that you're working with?
We do have OKRs for our teams, and also the legal operations team, of course, have their OKRs. Last year, we focused, for example, on improving our usage of Precisely to get even more out of the tool and to improve our business processes. But I'd say there's one KPI that I'm always having a look at. It's the actual rate of automation of processes of contracts via Precisely, which means for the legal operations team, I want to have as much as repetitive and administrative work from drafting to storing a contract automated. And in April, thanks to the legal operations team, we managed to have 52% of all our contracts processed in an automated way, meaning that not a legal person had to touch this contract. The business users could cater themselves. And the legal counsels could focus on the contracts where actually contracted by legal advice is needed. And the smaller contracts or the easy ones, they're all automated, or at least 52% are automated.
Yeah, you showed some numbers before in your presentation here, and I think it's super interesting to see actually the data of like how much it can improve. And I mean, 52%. It's not 100, but it's still a lot of time that's saved on reducing that time for legal.
I must say, since we have the legal operation team, so only since 2022, this number really boosted up. And since they're also in charge of reporting and doing a great job here as well, it also made us realize which kind of contract templates really, where we could see, okay, why is this contract template so often used? Can we maybe work on this one and automate even more clauses? And this is what they're doing. And I'm sure the 52% will even rise in the future. I'm sure about that.
Do you have like a goal for the year that, okay, I want to be at 60 or 75?
60 would be great end of the year. And also I think our legal counsel team really appreciate all the support from legal operations, because they can focus on their day-to-day tasks, I think, a bit better, and not dealing with contract management and maybe not enjoying even working so much with like techie tools or worrying about conditions and formulas and all that. So I think it's a great collaboration between legal counsels and legal operations, and they work well together.
That's super nice. And do you think that like, how do I say it? If legal, like pure legal people were to work in Precisely only, do you think you would see like the same benefit, or do you think like the legal operations is really like key to getting them to have the time maybe to implement the tool and getting to work properly?
No, definitely key. So when I started rolling out my first contract management tool and then Precisely, I did it all on my own. And then the legal counsels were working with it. But then I realized fast that it needs time and love and maintenance. And you can improve so much if you actually take the time to think about new templates, new automation ways, new features to implement integrations that we're using with other tools, for example, our CRM tool. And it needs a dedicated person for that. So at least one person that takes the time and thinks about all these solutions. Legal counsels would not have the time for it, because they are in contact with our customers. They need to negotiate and provide legal advice. And I think it needs its own brain for that.
Yeah, and I think that's always the struggle, or like the balance, that you're so overwhelmed and you know that you need to do something about not being overwhelmed, but just having the time to actually implement it and maybe get prioritization from your management team or whatever, that, okay, I don't know, 3 hours per day you're allowed to work on this instead of like newbies or whatever. So you really feel like, as the legal person, let's say you are the only one, you feel confident in that now I'm actually creating value, even though it's not bringing in the numbers today, but maybe in a couple of months or next year it's going to generate.
And in the long run, it saves you so much time and pain. And I think it's like the best investment ever to think how every legal department could actually enable the business more and focus on their legal tasks, but also on the operational side of things.
Yeah. And kind of like building onto that, what would you say is like the value that legal ops brings to the business at large? Like, we touched upon it quite much, but is there anything else you would like to bring up where you see?
I think they're crucial for my team's success. The one could live with the other, and it's a great collaboration, as I said. But also overall, they are improving the lives of the other teams of our company, thinking about how they can make the lives of our sales colleagues or account manager colleagues easier when drafting contracts. They are part of big cross-departmental projects, supporting from the legal side, also providing some guidance and structure there, and providing legal education for so many of our teams, no matter if it's about contract management or other legal topics. I think they're really enabling the business, and it creates a lot of value. And I have seen big changes since they started kicking off this year.
Yeah. So it's only 1 year old, right?
It's 1 quarter old, 1 quarter and 2 months.
Old.
Yeah.
So it's still a baby.
It's still a baby, 5 months, but it was the best decision ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can totally recommend. And even if you're a smaller legal department, I'd say having one person who appreciates the work, who likes to work on solutions and techie solutions, maybe also in reporting, enjoys business analytics, they should definitely let them focus on this part, because it also will help the others focus on their legal advice and negotiation parts.
Yeah, and I think maybe that could be an approach. If you are the only legal person, maybe you don't have the resources or the possibility to bring in someone new, that maybe you can utilize someone from a different function in the company to help you. Maybe the sales operations person or some other operations person can come in and assist you on those parts, so that you have someone to like bounce your ideas with and have the support that you need, and the tech solutions, and bring in the ideas, for example, when it comes to integrations. Well, maybe you need to talk to sales then and be like, hey, how can we help you, and bring this in, even if you are alone as being a legal person.
Definitely, yeah. You should not work isolated at all, and understand yourself as a service center for your colleagues. Yeah.
Part of the bigger team, right?
Exactly.
So what can you like point out? Okay, these are 3 things that I wish I knew before I implemented my legal ops team, or any ideas of like, okay, why didn't I do this earlier? Why is it coming now? Yeah,
definitely. So I don't know why this idea just popped up last year, but nevertheless, once we had that idea, and I asked Dani if he wants to take over this role, we acted quite fast. But yeah, definitely, I think we should have started earlier, maybe structuring the team the way we're having it now. And before that, everyone was kind of in this legal specialist, legal counsel role, everyone doing everything, but that doesn't lead nowhere. Like it's not scalable. So this is why thinking in many stages before, who has interest in what kind of field and what are the strengths of each team member. So this is really how we set up the legal operations team. They are simply like the people now being part of the legal ops team. They simply excel in these fields. And doing this earlier is definitely a benefit. Other than that, I think you also need to be willing to give your team the tools. Because legal operations, of course, automation and optimization is a big part of their day-to-day tasks, but you can't automate if you don't have the right tools at hand. So I think that's important.
Yeah. Is there anything else, like apart from that, like the tools and then having a team, is there anything else that you didn't expect that you would get out of this when you started?
I didn't expect that I will see such a big difference in my day-to-day life, but also in my whole, in the whole company's life by having a legal operations team. So they managed to set up an incredible reporting within speedy time, and improved our usage, for example, of Precisely so much. I think, I'm super curious what they will manage throughout the year. And there are many ideas and other projects where we think they can improve the lives of our colleagues, but also bring our company to the next level.
Yeah, and kind of building onto that, like, are there any things of this team that you see developing in the future? Like, what do you think they will be doing in 1 year or maybe 2 years? Do you have an idea?
I think they will keep refining how we're using Precisely and coming up with more ideas for integration and for even more automation. I think they already will be our go-to team for legal education and just like the face that colleagues would address to if they have any questions about legal processes, and also showing or making it visible how valuable an in-house legal department is, and how we can contribute to overall business value.
Yeah. So you're 6 legal people in total, right? And how many employees is the whole company?
In total, we have a quite big team. So we are 8 legals in total. 3 working in legal operations, 4 are legal counsels plus myself, and in total we have plus 400 colleagues around the world. We faced a hypergrowth phase, and
So in one sense, quite a narrow legal team or narrow amount of heads in terms of the big amount of business that you're bringing in right now, but still being able to kind of keep that pace up.
Exactly. I think we have a quite large legal team for the size of our company, but I'm very happy that our C-level agreed to invest in these resources, because hopefully they also see the benefits and value of the legal teams, because we're dealing with a lot of things besides classic legal work. We're in charge of onboarding new suppliers and education, as I said, and different other projects.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely worth it investing in these headcounts.
For sure. And like the process of, establishing a legal ops team and all of the things that you've been done in connecting that, having a system in place and everything, would you say that it has had any impact on your colleagues overall? Like, do they feel more motivated to go to work, or does it affect other parts of your life as well? Like, have you seen outside of maybe the business of things, like how is the life for your colleagues improving?
For my colleagues in the sense of the legal department?
Yeah.
Oh, I really love it how they collaborate, and we receive a lot of feedback from the legal counsels to the legal operations team, but also vice versa, that I think for the legal counsels, it really improved their lives. They don't have to deal with techie stuff that they're not interested in. They don't need to think about the whole contract management. Also the legal educational part, they get a lot of guidance and support here.
Yeah.
So I think they can really focus on classic legal work, whilst the operational team is enabling them to do so. So I'd say everyone has a better work-life balance now, and the burden of administrative and repetitive tasks are mitigated as much as we can, and we'll keep working on it, so that also the legal operations team, of course, have not doing these administrative tasks, but rather thinking about next automation steps and optimization.
Yeah, because I think that's also important. Like, one thing is, of course, efficiency at work and, making sure that you can always do more things, but you also want to have a life. You want to be able to pick up your kids. You want to, go play paddle, which is super popular in Sweden right now. So
exactly,
you still want to be able to do other things. So there are 2 sides of the coin in making it more efficient.
Yeah, we definitely saved a lot of time. I think everyone overall, by having a legal operations team, not only as a company, but also as a team, we have all, I think, now a good balance between work and life.
Yeah, that's great. Have we had any questions come in, or? Everybody's being shy. It's okay.
That's okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if there is no one that's like sitting here typing now, then I guess you can type a little bit faster. But other than that, I think we're gonna wrap up for today. We're super happy that so many of you joined. Very excited, of course, to have you here, Fiona, and chat with you. I think that's it for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.